Most people are bringing out the Christmas trees about now. At Attitude, we're sending the big guy off for a spruce up, so he's looking sharp for the Attitude Awards.
This will be the 3rd Attitude Awards, celebrating the achievements of Kiwis living with a disability.
Next week, we bring you an hour-long special from the event. Today, we'll introduce you to the 18 fabulous finalists.
The Attitude Awards are held here at Eden Park.
We roll up with the outside broadcast vans and rig up 7 cameras. Planning starts months in advance. Last year's event was hosted by Simon Dello.
The 2nd Attitude Awards, and isn't it great that they're back? The team at Attitude dreamed up the awards. The idea was simple: use the awards to highlight the way people are getting on, enjoying life, doing extraordinary things, and to celebrate those achievements.
Simon was joined on stage by a few of Attitude's friends.
The Attitude Artistic Achievement Award.
The Attitude Sport Performer Award of the Year.
The Attitude ACC Employer Award.
The winner for the 2009 Attitude ACC Supreme Award goes to Roberta Francis.
Simon Dello did such a great job at last year's awards, we had to invite him back.
With flattery like that, how could I say no? It was an absolutely fabulous night, and I'm sure this year is going to be even better. The Courage in Sport Award is for a person striving to lead an active life despite their disability. And the finalists are Jess Hamill, Shakti Krishnan and Jayne Parsons.
Shakti Krishnan is heading to the top of the mountain in more ways than one.
Having a disability doesn't slow me down at all.
From a young age, this 12-year-old has taken every sporting opportunity suggested to him.
When you're in a wheelchair all the time in sport, you can go out there and do things by yourself, more independently. I guess it's just the feeling of being almost free.
Initially, sport was therapy. When Shakti was a baby, his parents were told he might never venture far from his bed. They refused to let his spina bifida have a negative impact. Shakti's entered triathlons, is training in wheelchair racing, and recently in the Para Table Tennis Nationals, he took home gold. When he first began playing outdoor tennis, he didn't have the strength to pick up a racket. Shakti enjoys all sport, but thinks perhaps he'll represent New Zealand at the Paralympics as a skier.
Having a disability, I think it actually makes me go out there doing more things than other people. If there's an opportunity out there, I want to grasp it.
Jess Hamill's skill in shot put earned her a silver medal at the Commonwealth Games in Delhi.
It was just, incredible, and it was really satisfying.
But it was her courage that got her there in the first place. This is a young woman who doctors predicted wouldn't live beyond the age of 2. Jess was born with cerebral palsy. She's faced discrimination. When she applied to study sports massage, she was told she couldn't do it from her wheelchair. Jess finds her own way to do things. She is now on her way to becoming a qualified massage therapist.
People with disabilities are no different. They're just the same people, just, enjoying life and doing what they love.
Her athletic career had humble beginnings, practicing shot put in the paddock next to her Invercargill home. When she qualified for the Commonwealth Games, she hurled the shot put to a New Zealand and Oceania record of 7.43 metres.
What keeps me driving along is just thinking, getting a medal on the podium. I want a gold medal at the London Paralympics.
When I've got my serious training going, I'm very focused.
Jayne Parsons moves along in life with a huge amount of drive and confidence, doing things with purpose, yet without sight. Blind in both eyes as a result of domestic violence, she's channeled any negative energy into excelling at sport.
I lost my sight in my right eye as a result of a beating, and I was also pregnant, and I lost one of my babies as a result of that as well. I wasn't going to give up. I either could keep going or I died, and I wasn't going to do that. So I got on with it. And if I can get out there and do that, and it helps to encourage other people that have got disabilities to get out there and do something, that's a big thing for me.
Jayne's already achieved bronze in the 2008 Paralympic road time trial. This year, she won silver in the UCI Paracycling World Champs.
3, 2, 1, and up.
The medal came just months after major hip surgery to remove cysts and repair damaged cartilage.
On the track, I get this big lump in my throat because it's something that's really touches my heart, because I think with all the abuse that I went through many years ago, this has given me the freedom and the enjoyment to be who I am.
We want to treat the finalists, their family and friends to a really special evening, and that includes a delicious meal. Through here, we're planning the menu, and today it's food tasting time. We're lucky enough to have Chef Julian Gill cooking for the 500 guests we'll have on the night. He's a bit of a perfectionist, much like our Art Award finalists. The Artistic Achievement Award recognises an outstanding artist.
And the finalists are Andrew Blythe, Susan Te Kahurangi King and Celeste Strewe.
When Celeste Strewe is working on her body art, she's in a world of her own, and that suits her just fine. Born with severe hearing loss, Celeste wears hearing aids and lip reeds.
I think I've got to the point where I don't think of my hearing as too much of a hurdle.
Celeste was subjected to bullying in her early years of high school. Her self-esteem was crushed.
I'd come home just about in tears, and so I think a lot of it came from the fact that my family was strong, and they said just basically don't put up with it, don't let them,
When she transferred to Kelston School for the Deaf, she flourished, and so did her art. Celeste is determined to make a name for herself in the special effects industry. She's also trained as a makeup artist. She's already been named Best Emerging Artist at the New Zealand Body Art Awards.
I tend to just sort of do it, if I want to get there, and I do want to get there, so I'll just do it and try and get there, by any means possible.
The works of painter and poet Andrew Blythe have been shown in New York, Paris and Chicago. The international recognition Andrew's received from the art world has had a positive impact on his paranoid schizophrenia. Andrew's had periods of being extremely unwell, to the point where he stopped communicating with others altogether. But he's recognised the need to purposefully re-engage with the world. Even so, art remains his focus. This year, Andrew's health has improved dramatically, to the point he was able to move into his own home and begin living independently for the first time in 14 years. Andrew spends all day, most days, perfecting his art.
Like the creation of something, you're expressing something. It's almost like, expressing something from inside of me,
For years, Andrew moved in and out of hospital. The world was terrifying. Today, it's his art that gives his life purpose.
I was never one to fall in love, with people around the place, because I've always been on a dole. And painting it's like being in love, or it is being in love. It's like being in love. It's just wonderful,
Susan Te Kahurangi King hasn't communicated verbally since the age of 4, when autism led her into silence. But she's recorded her view of the world through more than 4,000 artworks. Susan's 80-year-old mother Dawn has kept most of those works.
Oh, I think it means the whole world to her. It's just her. I mean, it's just what goes on in her mind, what she observes, and it's her fun. Like she'd draw on anything. You'd give her some lovely new paper, but then she'd open up a Weet-Bix box and draw on the back of that.
Susan was raised in an era when few children with autism were diagnosed. When she was in her 20s, tutors at the prestigious Elam School of Fine Arts recognised her talent, but no one ensured that talent was nurtured. Susan turned away from her art for 30 years. Now in her late 50s, she's back drawing. Her work is being applauded by curators in both New Zealand and Australia.
It was just like, an awareness coming out. You can see even a twinkle in her eye, and she had this smile on her face of other people appreciating her things, like as if I'm somebody of importance, I can do these things.
Jayden Mulville's been part of the Attitude family for 5 years now, and he tends to steal the show wherever he goes. This year, Jayden's helping co-host the awards, so I thought he'd be the perfect person to help me introduce the finalists for the Attitude Youth Award.
And the finalists are
Duncan Armstrong, Lynn Chen, and Alex Snedden.
At just 22, Alex Snedden is already in demand as a public speaker. That fits perfectly with his life goals.
My name is to be a role model for disabled people.
This year, Alex addressed the World Down Syndrome Conference in Ireland. Alex works 3 jobs. He volunteers at the Auckland Food Bank and for a youth disability camp. But mostly, he wants to mentor young people with disabilities.
It's the way that I live my life to be happy, to be positive and independent.
She's an accomplished musician, a sports force to be reckoned with, and a promising scientist. Lynn Chen somehow manages to do it all.
I work quite hard in some things. You need to believe in yourself and you need to find a way to motivate yourself.
Lynn was born profoundly deaf, and while she has a cochlear implant, sounds are difficult to distinguish. She's learned English, Mandarin, and New Zealand Sign Language to communicate with her family and peers.
What hearing impairment, you tend to miss out on bits of conversations because it's really hard to listen all the time.
Lynn concentrates hard in the classroom to hear and understand, and the effort is taking her places. This year she was invited to the prestigious Deaf Space Camp in the US, a kind of astronaut training.
It was the greatest experience you can ever get into.
Life's really full, yet Lynn makes time to volunteer teaching English as a second language. It's through the challenges she's faced that Lynn's learned to push her limits.
Having a disability does make you not harder. As long as you have a positive outlook to life. And yes, it does make me more determined.
The first 21 years of Duncan Armstrong's life have been spent laying the foundation for his dream to be a performer and an advocate.
I've been in plays and shows and stuff. I want to be a performer all my life, really. And acting is my dream job. I love performing because it's fun and people out there like it.
Duncan's an actor, drummer, songwriter. He's on the Wellington Youth City Council and has presented to a wide range of conferences. He does volunteer work for a dance company, a church group, and an arts program.
You need to get up and take action, really. Yeah. If you don't, your life can be destroyed.